Today I want to walk you through my top 5 new features in the Scoutify 2 sourcing app. Now, if you've ever been sourcing before, maybe you've heard of sourcing apps. They're apps you can download on your phone where you can scan barcodes or type in keywords and find out on Amazon where things are priced, what their sales rank is, information like that. Well, since for many years I've been using an app called Scoutify, and Scoutify was my favorite sourcing app until today because Scoutify 2 is here. Now, Scoutify 1, I'll call it Scoutify 1 and Scoutify 2. Scoutify 1 is amazing. It's an amazing app that shows you, the current pricings on Amazon, the current sales rank. It gives you links to like Camel, 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 and Keepa, so you can make a smart sourcing decision by looking at the past sales rank history and the pricing history. It lets you add items to a buy list, so when you're out sourcing, you can just add it to your buy list and add your supplier, where you're buying it from, the cost, and then when you're done, you can upload it to InventoryLab, and InventoryLab communicates with Seller Central and gets your shipment ready, so you don't have to go through Seller Central and the really annoying process of getting a shipment together in Seller Central. You can do it so much easier and faster through InventoryLab, and Scoutify just works perfectly with that. And I love Scoutify, but I love Scoutify 2 even better. You know how in movies the sequels are usually not as good as the original? There's like few exceptions, like Empire Strikes Back, better than A New Hope. And Terminator 2, better than Terminator 1. But it's so rare when the sequel is better than the original. But this is the case with Scoutify 2. So much better than Scoutify 1. And Scoutify 1 was already at the top of my list, so it's even better. So let me get into the top 5 features of Scoutify 2 that I absolutely love. The first one, and these are in no particular order, because they're just all awesome. I couldn't take the time to rank them, but they're all awesome. So the first one is in Scoutify 2, you can create your ideal buy. I mean, you can say, hey, my ideal buy is where Amazon is not a competitor. It's where there's only 50 there's only 50 offers. And you know what? It follows my idea of a good rank. So you can create this ideal buy, and when you scan an item, when you're out doing sourcing, the Scoutify 2 app will tell you if this is an ideal buy. You tell Scoutify 2 what you think is a good rank, what you think is a poor rank. You can tell them if you want Amazon to be a competitor or not, and you tell them how many people you want to compete against for a listing. And Scoutify 2 right there, boom, tells you, gives a little thumbs up icon that says this is an ideal buy. It's awesome. It takes a lot of the guesswork out of sourcing for you. The second thing I love about Scoutify 2 is the target buy cost. Now, all you have to do is get into Scoutify 2 and tell Scoutify what your desired ROI is. Whether you're like, hey, I want to double my money, I want 100% ROI, or I'm good with 50% ROI, or I'm good with 30%. You tell Scoutify what kind of ROI you want. And when you scan an item with the barcode scanner or type in keywords to find a particular item you want to sell on Amazon, Scoutify will do the math for you and say, hey, this is the top buy price you need to pay for this item in order to get that ROI. So, if you scan an item and you're like, hey, this has a really good sales rank and I can buy it for $10, the Scoutify app will tell you, hey, you need to pay no more than $12 for this item. And you're like, hey, I'm getting it for cheaper than that. Or it might say, hey, you should get this for no more than $5. And you're like, oh, well, that's not going to be profitable. So you can just put it back on the shelf and keep scanning. So Scoutify 2 calculates all the numbers for you, crunches those numbers, and tells you if it is in your target buy cost. So that's another thing that I love about it. So the third thing I love about the Scoutify 2 app is that it tells you the sales rank percentages. So it will not only just tell you the item's sales rank, it will tell you where that item's sales rank lands in the percentage in comparison to the whole category. Now, I know a lot of you already have one of these, but if you don't, you need to get this. It's a free download that I offer. If you go to fulltimefba.com/sales rank, I have a breakdown of all the top main categories in Amazon, followed by the total number of items, and then I have it broken down. Top 1%, top 3%, top 5%, top 10%. So you can see where those items are. And this is really good for RA, OA, wholesale sourcing. But the new Scoutify app too, it will tell you right there in the app that this item is ranked 50,000, and that's in the top 1% of toys. So it will tell you right there, it's in the top 1% of toys. This is in the top 3% of the baby category. It just tells you for you so much great information to have, and I love that about Scoutify, because the better number, the lower number of the percentage, the faster it could potentially sell on Amazon. All right, so number 4 is easy restriction notifications. So before on Scoutify, you would have to scan it, and then you have to go check the restrictions. Now, in the Scoutify 2 app, you scan the item, and if you're restricted, a little red restricted button pops up toward the bottom of the screen. And it doesn't mean you're just restricted for everything. You can actually click on the restriction button, and it will tell you the conditions you're allowed to send it in, or the conditions that you cannot send it in. So it might say restrictions apply, and you go and you click on the little restrictions button, and it takes you to a page that says, hey, you can sell this in new condition, but you can't sell it in collectible condition or used condition. Or maybe it'll say, hey, you can sell this in used condition, but not collectible and not new. And so it takes out so much guesswork for when you're trying to decide if you want to sell something. A lot of times if you're scanning on the Amazon seller app, it will just say you're restricted, and you just assume, I'm just restricted, I can't sell it. But sometimes you can sell it in a certain condition, so this makes it so much easier to see. And then finally, number 5, it gives you important inventory information. And I did not mean for all those to start with the letter I, but it is. It's so important about your inventory. It gives you, like if you scan an item while you're outsourcing, it will tell you if you already have some of those in stock. It will tell you if you've ever sold any of those items in the past. It will tell you if you have items that you have purchased but haven't sold. So this is really helpful when you're outsourcing and you're like, hey, this item looks really good. And you can look at the app and say, oh, but I already have 15 in stock. This probably wouldn't be a good idea for me to add another one. I don't know if I can even sell all 15 of those. Saves you from making a lot of mistakes. Or you can scan it and say, oh, hey, I don't have any of these in stock, but I've purchased 15 of them in the past. They must have all sold out, so I'm going to get some more because I know I've sold this in the past. So much awesome information. Those are my top 5, and it was hard to narrow it down to top 5. I could do a whole nother video on my next 5 things that I love about InventoryLab and love about Scoutify 2. In fact, if you do want to know my top 5 things that I like about InventoryLab, you can go to fulltimefba.com/InventoryLab top 5, and that will give you my top 5 things about InventoryLab, because InventoryLab by itself also is incredibly awesome. If you want to get Scoutify, you can find it in the App Store. You can just go to the iTunes App Store or the Google Play Store, even in Amazon Fire phones, you can find it in your App Store. All you have to do is search Scoutify, and it will come up as a completely different app. If you're already using Scoutify 1, you can still keep using that for now. They have not taken it down yet, so you can actually use both of them. So if you're like, hey, I love the new app, I want to start using it, but I need to go sourcing today and I don't want to learn something new, you can still use Scoutify 1, and then while you're still learning Scoutify 2. So you can find that in your App Store. Just do a search for Scoutify. You'll be able to find it, download it, start playing with it, and start seeing the awesome features that are involved with Scoutify 2. So if you want more information about getting Scoutify 2, because it's not a free, the app is downloadable for free, but you have to have an InventoryLab account to use it. And to get a free 30-day free trial for InventoryLab, go to fulltimefba.com/InventoryLab, and that will start your 30-day free trial. You can start using Scoutify and Source, and it's awesome. So many awesome things about it, and I'm excited to tell you about it. So can't you tell I'm excited? So again, fulltimefba.com/InventoryLab to start your 30-day free trial, where you can use InventoryLab and Scoutify and totally make your Amazon business so much easier and streamlined. It's worth every penny. Well, that's it for today. Thanks so much for hanging out with me. Be sure to leave a comment or a thumbs up below, and be sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. We got lots of fun videos coming up that are going to help you with your Amazon business. And come hang out with us at the blog, fulltimefba.com. If you subscribe, you get PDF downloads that will help you with your Amazon business. You'll get fresh, new content sent to your inbox at least once a week. Lots of great stuff coming down the pipe of awesome Amazon FBA training just for you, so be sure you're subscribed. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks, God bless. Have a great day. Bye.